Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at each individual life path forecast for the month of April 2023. Before we get into the forecast, this, of course, is a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading where we'll take a deep dive into your own numerology, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at April real quick. So April 2023 is a 2 universal cycle. And what that means is that universally, collectively, we will all be feeling the influences of this 2 energy. So what this could bring about is the need for balance, things coming to the surface that are out of balance, whether that's body, mind, spirit, or with relationships, things that have just felt out of alignment, coming to the surface for review to bring back into alignment at this time, or at least start that process, right? This energy is also asking us to become the observer, to stand back and really not get too emotionally invested in a situation that we don't need to be emotionally invested in, but rather take a step back, take a look through a broader lens and see, are we thinking too rigidly about something? Are we overly invested in something? Are we overextending ourselves in a situation that we don't need to be? Or again, are we overly involved in a situation that we don't need to be, which is therefore leading to resentment or frustration or stagnate, whatever, right? Whatever being overly involved or being too immersed in the situation, if it's causing imbalance, then again, this is going to be a month where standing back, being the observer, seeing things from a broader lens will benefit us. This energy will also ask us to be more decisive and discerning in who we choose to invest our energy into, what that looks like, what we will compromise with, and again, making decisions. So there may be events this month collectively where things come in and we need to make a quick decision, and it doesn't really necessarily give us time to second guess ourselves or to weigh the pros and cons. We have to trust our own internal guidance system and the information that we have that's presented to us and make a decision. And then once we make that decision, we have to give ourselves grace to understand that in that moment, that was what we needed for ourselves. And so again, deal with the consequences as they come up from that decision. Maybe make different decisions moving forward if you need to, but don't beat yourself up about it, right? Trust yourself and trust that the decision that you make in that moment is what is best for you in that moment, right? And all involved. This can also be about channeling charged emotions. So the 2 energy can sometimes bring intense emotions or deep emotions, so to kind of be moved through. So it can be a charged energy, right? And so you might find that you're easily triggered over something, or that you feel deep emotions about something. This is a month where emotions could be coming in very strongly. And so sit with them, move through them, work with them, honor them, but be mindful of how you express them, right? If you become overly agitated or overly aggressive or something like that over a situation, that's going to influence, if you're not in control of those emotions and that charged energy, that's going to potentially dictate whether you react or you respond to the situation, right? Which then will dictate the experience that follows. So this month is really asking us to get in more awareness when it comes to our emotions, and as well as how we want to work with those emotions and that charged energy, because emotions are life, right? We are feeling beings. We are meant to feel emotions. It's what we do with those emotions that makes the difference, that creates the experience. So this 2 energy coming in collectively is really going to be asking us to take a closer look at that and take responsibility for how we express those emotions, right? Not meant to avoid them, not meant to suppress them, none of that. We are emotive beings. We are meant to feel. So, but again, it's in the expression that makes the difference and that determines the experience. And so this month could bring up some things that might trigger us, that might force us to look at the emotions that sort of are more in control of us. so that we can get a greater handle on that and work with that energy, that charged energy, and channel it into something positive. This can also be a very highly sensitive month where things that might not have affected us in the past are a little bit more quick to bring about some kind of reaction, right? Or response. And so just pay attention to what's yours, what's not yours, because again, it's a highly sensitive period. And so we could be picking up on things emotionally or get a sense for things that affect our mood that may not even be ours to carry. And so just keep in mind that it is a highly sensitive period. So don't get too attached to what you're feeling, especially if it's not yours, right? And again, relationships could come into the focus this month. So mending or healing of relationships that are still meant to be a part of the journey. New connections coming in. So new soulmate connections, friends, family, pets type thing could definitely be coming in this month. And these are often relationships that are serving a greater purpose. So some kind of soul contract coming in potentially to assist us on our journey. So pay attention to the people that you meet, or again, the pets that come into your life at this time. We could uncover a new way of relating to others that serves us better and serves others better, right? So a new way of looking at relationships and how we relate to others could absolutely be coming in collectively this month. So again, pay attention to those people that come into your life or the people that resurface in your life and what they're trying to show you. What is their divinity trying to teach you, right? Through their own wisdom and through what they trigger within you type thing, or what they bring you that's beautiful, right? And so how we can learn to accept that beauty as well. That's a big part of relating as well. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at each individual life path number now for the month of April. Life path 11-2. Okay, so I pulled an animal spirit message for you all for April, and this is such big energy and such beautiful energy for 11s. I'd love to see this come through for you all, especially with the collective energy that we're working with, which is 2 energy, which is your life path energy, right? Of course, the 11 is an extension of that. Okay, so for you all, you got eagle energy. And what's so beautiful about, there's so much that's so beautiful about eagle energy, but what's really beautiful about this, especially for 11-2s, is, so if you think about the eagle, you can think of it as Scorpio energy in a way, because the eagle is the higher octave of Scorpio energy. It is the truth. It is also this energy of seeing things from a bigger perspective, which this all ties into 11-2 energy as well. The Scorpio signifies Scorpio energy, but there's like that reactivity. There's that charged emotion, right? Where it's like, the energy comes in, the emotions get riled up, and then the stinger comes out, right? Which can be very similar to 11-2 energy. 11-2s and 2s, when they're not in control of their own emotions, because it is such a highly sensitive energy or number, those emotions can get the best of us and they can come out real quick, right? That stinger can come out real quick. And so the eagle is the higher octave of Scorpio. And so when the eagle shows up, when you step into your truth, right? Eagle represents truth. You're more in control of your own energy, right? Even the charged energy. You're more in control of your journey in the sense that you're able to stand back, be the observer, see things from a greater perspective. If you think about the eagle is one of the highest flying birds in the world. And so from that great height, it has eagle eye vision. It can see much more clearly, right? And it can see, it can focus in on what it needs to focus into, right? But the vantage point is different. That is such the epitome of 11-2 energy and 2 energy, right? Is to become the observer, to not be too dialed in that you lose sight of the bigger picture. It's this dance between the details and the greater picture, right? Like a broader perspective. So with Eagle coming through for you all this month, I do think could be a very powerful month when it comes to, just getting a greater perspective on something that has been challenging for you or has been really triggering or taking your attention or that you've been struggling with, right? Eagle coming in is saying, let's fly higher, let's pull out, let's kind of like move back a little bit and see what it is that we're missing because we're too immersed in whatever this is, right? So, which again would not be surprising for 11-2 energy because it is such a sensitive energy and it's very easy, especially in the shadow side of the 11, to get overly immersed in a situation or, a relationship or whatever. And then it's kind of difficult to kind of pull back a little bit to see more clearly. So with Eagle coming through, there's definitely something here about pausing, taking a step back, seeing things from a greater perspective, focusing in on what you need to focus in on once it becomes clear to you, but not being so immersed in the situation that you lose sight of it or that you become overly involved, right? There's also this energy of fearlessness, leadership, ambition that comes through with the Eagle. And so again, there may be some situations within your own life where you have to take the leadership role. And that can be difficult for 11-2s, right? Because it's such an energy of bringing people together, harmony, balance, all those things, but you've got double ones, right? So it's very much about independence and, figuring out what you want, how to get it, what that looks like, and then how you can translate that into bringing people together, right? So there's definitely something here about leadership, and really what it ultimately always comes down to is leadership within our own lives, figuring out what we want, how can we go after that, how can we make it happen, and how can we do that in a way that we're bringing harmony and not divisiveness. So there's a lot that goes into it, obviously. And the Eagle is fearless, right? It doesn't have a lot of predators, and so it doesn't need to fear too much, right? And so it's a very fearless energy. If it wants it, it's going to go after it type thing. That's a little bit more challenging for 11-2s to do until you find your own balance with that energy. But there's definitely something here with eagle, that is saying, what is your truth? What is your value system? What is it that you want? And what steps are you taking to get there? Like, you are the leader within your own life. So what are you doing with that power, right? And how are you doing that in a way to where you're also not getting overly involved or emotionally involved in other people's journey, while also bringing harmony to the experience? So a lot that comes in from Eagle energy here, but it's beautiful energy. And really it's like Eagle is going to force you to face your truth and step into that truth and then honor it, right? While also bringing harmony, balance to your interactions with others. So this could potentially be a very powerful month for you all. Where, you're going to be asked to be very decisive, where you're going to be asked to trust yourself, where you're going to be asked to really take a closer look at what it is that you want. And again, what steps are you taking to step into that? So now for you all for this month, you all are going to, of course, be working with the energy of the 2 because that's the collective energy. And it's also your life path number. So you're used to this energy. But for you all, you also have the added energy of the 13-4. So this is, again, I come back to like Scorpio energy and Pluto. This is death, transformation, rebirth, lots of change, lots of shifts, lots of dismantling or crumbling of things that aren't working to create a more solid foundation. So there's definitely, I say definitely, if there is something in your life that is not working and you keep putting a Band-Aid on it, this would probably be the month where that Band-Aid's going to get ripped off. You're going to be forced to face whatever that is and deal with it and take it apart and then put it back together in a way that works, in a way that is much healthier and has a stronger base, right? Has a stronger foundation. 4 energy is always going to make you look at the foundation and make sure that what it is that you're building will stand the test of time. So if you continue to build up upon a faulty foundation under a 13-4 energy, which you all are moving through in April, that foundation will crumble. It will often be dismantled again so that you can rebuild. Now, the other things with 13-4 energy to keep in mind is the people who have this in prominent placements of the 13-4, or even moving through a cycle, there may be something coming in for you that is like a vision, an idea that you're probably going to be the only one that understands it, right? It's kind of like with 13-4 energy, this is the energy of looking at a pile of dirt or mud. Let's use the example of the lotus flower. So you see a pile of mud and you're like, wow, I can really see something beautiful growing here. So you plant a seed. Everybody tells you you're nuts, that it couldn't possibly work. Nothing grows in mud, right? And you're like, no, I really feel like there's something here. And so you trust that, you make that decision, you trust it, you plant the seed, and then lo and behold, what emerges? A beautiful lotus flower, right? Because you saw it, you trusted it, and you did something about it. 13-4 energy is going to sort of encourage you to do that, to follow that deeper insight, those deeper visions where it's like, oh, I can see something beautiful here. 13-4 energy is going to turn something not so beautiful into something beautiful. But in order to do that, there has to be some kind of transformation. There has to be some kind of emergence, right, from the not so beautiful. So that can be translated into relationships or your career or anything, right? So if there's something where the foundation is not so great, or again, you have a vision to build something really beautiful from something not so beautiful, this is going to be a great month to do that. And you're very supported to do that, especially with eagle energy coming through. There's something here where you're meant to be the leader in something, right? That you believe in, that feels true for you, that you can see the beauty of and do something with it. So incredibly beautiful energy. Would also say this month, make sure you pay attention to your words, how you communicate, the intention behind that communication. So very powerful energy coming through for you all 11s. I would say the biggest piece of this, especially with 13-4 energy, is again, if you have a vision, if you see something that others can't see, and it has the potential to grow something really beautiful, even if it doesn't work out, if you feel that it could, this is a month to go for it, to go after it, to try to make that happen, because 13-4 energy is very supportive for that, creating beauty where there is where it's not so beautiful. So incredibly beautiful energy for you all. So stand in that leader, step into your power, stand in that power, and do something big with it. So I hope it's a great month for you all. Take care, 11s. Bye for now.